my passenger tries to get out before I'm done explaining the Punic Wars. I don't think so. Literally me with all of you guys watching this video right now. We're not done talking about every single aspect of history. You're not allowed to leave the car yet. How else can we start talking about world history without beginning at the Big Bang? We're gonna be here for a while. POV, it's the year 4000 BC. And you're chilling with your homies in the proto-historic Punic Caspian steppe. You jump on a heatwoos as a joke, and you're unaware of the consequences this will have on human civilization. Did early humans really call horses this? To be honest, those humans in the year 4000 BC probably did jump on this thing as a joke. I mean, what other scenario would you really attempt to do this in? The Persians controlled Afghanistan for over 200 years. Yup. The Greeks occupied them for over 3 centuries. Correct. And the Mongols controlled them for over 100 years. That's right. So Afghanistan shouldn't be known as the graveyard of empires. But Afghanistan is the graveyard of empires. To be fair, no one says Afghanistan wipes out these empires in a certain amount of time. They just always do eventually. It's like a cancer or poison that grows the longer they control this territory for. I mean, the facts are this land has been conquered by so many different empires throughout history, but they're still living independently here in 2024. And they outlasted all of them. Afghanistan ruled Afghanistan for quite some time. Must be the graveyard of Afghanistan as well. I mean, when you look at their internal political situation, yeah. Trivia question, year of the fall of the Roman Empire. 1453 AD, 476 AD, 808 BC, or 325 AD. Wait a second. Wait. I mean, if I had to choose, I'd probably go with red here, but I know it's debatable. Rome never fell. It's just resting. That's probably the only correct answer there. Today I will fight 12 battles over this river. Meanwhile, this Italian king being clueless here, resulting in 5 Italian victories, 3 inconclusive, and 3 Austrian-Hungarian victories, also with tons and tons of casualties. All within about 2 years. Look at that. Mission accomplished, I think. Who's that? Oh, that's Benito Mussolini. Basically, a pretty big reason why Italy was the first European nation to go fascist. I mean, it was one reason, not the only, but people always forget Italy went fascist way before the rest of the world did. Apparently, that technically was not the Italian king during World War I, but he did look similar. What's insane is I don't even blame him for the mistake. They both look very, very similar, both with epic mustaches. This was the king of Italy during World War I. When I'm in a out of manpower competition and my opponent is late war Germany, yeah, we're not winning this one. They were literally scraping the bottom of the barrel for manpower at the end of World War II, putting old dudes and 14-year-old kids. Geez, they're actually using anyone between the ages of 16 to 60. Nobody. Meanwhile, the 5K Indian SS volunteer soldiers during World War II.
Okay, I'll do it. I'm going to bat for you, Hitler. I got your back, Hitler.
Okay. You know, sometimes I think about this because I know it confuses a lot of people out there. I don't think it's that hard to figure it out, though. You're Indian, you've been under British rule for decades. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess. That's probably what they were thinking. But obviously, the vast majority of Indians helped fight for the British Empire at the time. Ribbentrop distracting the Polish with his little dance while the Weimar enter Poland. I mean, dang, this would work for me. I would be so distracted. How long did he have to practice this to get it all down? If only he wasn't doing that, Poland would have absolutely been able to defend itself from all this, right? Fidel Castro be like, all of you get out, including American rock and roll, American tourists, American casinos, except you stay. American baseball. Everyone knows Cubans love American baseball. They're so good at it. I'm guessing Fidel was also just a big fan too. Reminds me of how Stalin was an avid fan of American westerns, particularly those with John Wayne. No problem with making a couple of exceptions. You can ban all the other American stuff though. Japan, living in the year 2000 since 1980. Wow, it's amazing. But also Japan, living in the year 2000 since 1980. Yeah, that's the key word. They're still living in the year 2000. 24 years later, and I know they're still faxing, maybe using some beepers, still got themselves some floppy disks. Man, it's hard for them to move on. Then there's Brazil that be like, in the 80s, we were living in the 60s. In the 90s, we were living in the 80s. In the 2000s, we were living in the 2000s. In the 2010s, we were living in the 2000s. In the 2020s, we were living in the 90s. They're just going back and forth like a pendulum. How fun. You never know what's gonna be next in Brazil. The Soviets will have to cross a nuclear wasteland if they want to attack me, says France. What nuclear wasteland, asks Germany? What nuclear wasteland, France? Oh, as Germany, wouldn't you like to know? Basically, France's policy during the Cold War was just to nuke the crap out of West Germany, their ally at the time. That way the Soviets just wouldn't be able to cross over. Remember that it wasn't that long ago that France and the Germans were fighting like really brutal wars against each other. Probably still had a grudge. Their friendship was just a matter of convenience. Ooh, things that have lasted longer than the US Confederacy or the South. We've got Fallout 76, Corona, Sam Darnold's NFL career, this fish's pregnancy, the Weimar Republic, Doritos Locos Tacos. Wait, Yeah, that's still around. That's been around for a while. The Boston Red Sox championship drought. And this Reddit account. That is because the South or Confederacy only lasted for 4 years, 1861 to 1865. Now I want to see another version of this, but with the No-No Germans, because that was supposed to be a 1,000-year Reich, but it was only from 1933 to 1945. Yeah, crazy. I've literally never seen that before. Peter Weisel, after fighting the enemy British flagship with his Dutch flagship for 14 hours and then sailing towards the enemy to ask for more ammo to continue the fight. Y'all got any more of that ammo? Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out for him. I mean, it might have worked. What if the British were just having a really fun time? They did, in fact, say no, if you were wondering. But they did share a toast because the battle went on for so long. They were both like, yo, pretty good job, though. I think it was probably like a joking way. Yo, can I borrow some? I wasn't expecting to get any ammo. My lord, one of these guys just embarrassed me by kissing me in the dark. But I broke his cap string, so we'll know who did it. Please punish this molester. Actually, everyone break your own cap string. What? So around the 6th century BC in China, someone kissed this lady, but she did in fact break the guy's cap string. Is that, I'm just imagining like the strings from like a sweater or something. But clearly this king didn't really care, said everyone was drunk, boozed up, and you know, everyone was just having a little fun in the dark. So he wanted the perpetrator to get away with it. The cap string apparently is a string at the top of a hat. Man, I love like ancient Chinese history. I don't know anything really about it, but they've got some crazy stories like this. Greece takes part in the Euro for the 2nd time ever. Greece wins the Euro. Greece holds the Olympics again. Greece holds Easter celebrations in Constantinople, not Istanbul, after 600 years. Greece always coming up with the most crazy twists in history when you really don't ever expect it. Basically, the brief return of the Byzantine Empire in 2004. 2004 was literally where they made their comebacks, winning so much. I despise you. Why despise you? Hey, wait a second. It's Ireland. Let's colonize them. The only thing England and Scotland could both agree on. Pretty much the only reason these two kingdoms came together. Just to bully little old Ireland, huh? They could agree on one thing. Scotland sure does do a great job at being left out of the whole colonization conversation. This man who won the most battles in history, born in 1769. This man who won the 2nd most battles in history, also born in 1769. What an absolute insane coincidence. One French, one British, both born on the same year. For those not in the know, all the whole story is laid out in the hit song, The Summer of 69. It was the 1700s that song was written about. 1769. The Duke of Wellington here kind of did get the last laugh over Napoleon though, even though he only got the 2nd most battles won in history. Oh, look at me! I'm a medieval monarch who died without explicitly stating who my successor would be. You don't even need to be from the medieval times. This just always happened. This is still happening. Leaders not naming who their successor should be. But yeah, that's like the best way to start a civil war. Yeah, don't forget about Alexander the Great too. Sometimes you pick a successor and they still don't listen though. Thinking like Lenin. Getting a haircut now. Alright, my hair's too long. I gotta get a haircut. My god, what have I done? Getting a haircut in medieval Norway. Babe, you must cut your hair. No, I will not cut my hair until all of Norway is unified under me. I love how men still do this to this day. Like, men will grow their hair out until they achieve a goal or something like that. There must be something like ingrained in our DNA to want to do that. I'm pretty sure I've done that at some point in my life. It's kind of a fun thing to do, I think. B. Roman Bridge. Last over 2,000 years with 0 structural integrity issues. B. American Bridge 2,000 years later collapsed the day after it was built. The Roman aqueduct only had to support tons of water, not the average American. Oh, good point, Canadian Anon. Didn't think about that. We all weigh so much more than tons and tons of water. We love our burgers, what can I say? Joan of Arc wasn't a feminist girl boss. She was a Catholic woman who loved God. Oh yeah, that's right. A lot of people forget that nowadays, which you know what? I'm not really surprised about, to be honest. Yes, queen. I guess she still could have been a girl boss though. Jenna Ortega would like to play Joan of Arc. What do you think, TV? Do you think our girl will nail the role of the Maid of Orleans? Joan of Arc didn't look like that. She did for a few I don't really know what to say right now. Alright, let's just move on. 19th century factory owners when an employee isn't working because their arm got cut off in some gears and turned into a hamburger. Alright, SpongeBob, lazy pants. To be fair, I guess it doesn't say cut off, but it did get turned into a hamburger. Let's make a Krabby Patty with it. Oh man, working in the 19th century sounds like a blast, doesn't it? Especially when all your bosses are basically Mr. Krabs. It's 1815, you just lost a war, and you just got banished to this desolate island where 2,000 soldiers are guarding you. How you gonna escape? I mean, there is no escape. This is why Napoleon was just depressed at the end of his life. It is a very interesting concept. There's gotta be a Roblox game about this, huh? I don't know why. I feel like there has to be some Roblox game about this. Oh man, apparently there's not. There's other like escape islands, but yeah, something just escaped from St. Helena. Seems like a banger game. Just a fun little reminder too, St. Helena is a barren wasteland off the coast of Africa, kind of. I mean, it's not even really off the coast of anything. It's just the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. I feel like if there isn't 200 French ships, like, filled with all my homies that are coming to get me, there's just no way I'm gonna be able to escape. Mind you, he already escaped exile earlier, so the British were watching him even closer. The British government decided on his removal to the remote and inaccessible South Atlantic island St. Helena. There was no hope of escape or rescue. But imagine if he did come back for a second time. I feel like France wouldn't even be able to, like, process it. I figured we'd just take this boat. Oh, that's all you need. This is pretty much why Napoleon said there's nothing we can do, from the memes at least. Honestly, banished to an island sounds like a vacation right now. I don't know. He was literally just forced to sit there and think about all the wrong decisions he made in his life before he was oofed. When he finally reached Turkey, Timur allegedly promised not to shed blood if the town of Sivas surrendered. Trusting his word, they did. It said he had 3,000 of the townspeople buried alive, and Timur maintained that he had kept his promise. After all, there was no blood. Talk about having them in the first half, not gonna lie. Love a man of his word. Oh, EU4 players know this guy. Timmy. That's pretty crazy. Big thanks to patrons. Month 1 in Drew's basement. Kansas was mentioned. I can't sleep without Drew's voice. Drew's Argentinian Grandpa. I'm back,
Amateur
boys.
Archaeology.
aPhatNarwhal.
Carmel S.
Connor
DaBeautiful-MEGAN-Underwood.
InquisitorXarius. KirinoIsBestGirl.
Tambre
Tyrol.
the Goat.
The Mexican
KingBearHaze.
Fredrik
and
Tibblin.
ZaneyBoi.